to Daily Red Devil. We've got lots to get into on this morning's show, but before we do that, please do me a small favour. If you are watching today for the first time, please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're literally just about to hit our next milestone, which is 43k, so please do get involved. On the stream today, we are going to be talking about Rashford to Barcelona, with the Guardian UK newspaper reporting that apparently a loan move is now on the cards. What do you think about that? We're also going to be talking about Garnacho. Lots to get into there. Jadon Sancho bidding war, Onana to Monaco. The Athletic reporting that Manchester United are going to sign a midfielder and a striker this summer. So much to get into. Really, really big news to bring you. But before we do all of that, as always, I like to try and start my videos off with a bit of conversation. And we're going to do a bit of a recap here. I want to get you, the Manchester United fan base's thoughts. Who do we think we're going to sign? That's the million-dollar question at the moment, isn't it? What deals do we think are actually going to happen? We're linked to hundreds and hundreds of players, right? What do you think's actually realistic for the rest of this transfer window? Like, what do you think we need? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Right, I'm going to give you my answer. So, obviously, Matheus Cunha is through the door. Confirmed. That's done. Signed. He's holding the shirt. That's not going to be taken away from us. Don't worry. So, Matheus Cunha, done. Other than that, I think Brian and Brumo will definitely happen. I think that will probably be either this week or next week. Obviously, the pre-season training begins, I think it's on the 4th. It's next week anyway. Sorry, it's a week on Monday. It's the 7th when pre-season starts. So I think he'll be in by then. We've still got, 10 days to get that deal done. I'm confident that he will be here on the 7th. Obviously, all the players are on holiday at the moment anyway. So even if we did get a here we go now, nothing would happen until he's back from holiday, which will be probably sometime next week. So I think that one will definitely get done as well. Other than that, I think we will get a striker. Who it will be, that's up for debate. And I think we'll probably get a midfielder as well. Other than that, I think the goalkeepers maybe 50-50, depending on if Onana leaves. And I think, if a centre-back option presents itself and we have money to spend, I reckon we'll go for a centre-back. So I think 100%, I mean, nothing's ever 100%, but I would say Brian and Brumo, a midfielder and a striker. I think we'll get 3 more signings. And then obviously depending on how the rest of the deals go, that will then determine whether we get anybody else, So yeah, but let me know what you guys think about that. Very, very exciting. Still got 2 months left of the window. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How many signings do you think Manchester United will complete before the end of this window? Right, moving on from there, let's jump into some of the news we have for this morning, because we have got so much to get into. So let's start off with Marcus Rashford. The news this morning, this is coming out from multiple different people, that Barcelona are still trying to sign Marcus Rashford. However, it is on loan. I don't understand this. I'm going to say this, right? And this is probably going to get me some angry comments. But I genuinely, I don't know. I need to think about how I'm going to say this. If we send Marcus Rashford to Barcelona, right, and we still have to pay his wages, or some of his wages, I honestly would rather just keep him, genuinely. How many years has he got left on his contract? Yeah, his contract expires next year as well. Sorry, it doesn't. His contract expires in 2028. He's got 3 years left on his deal. Like, why? Why? It's just frustrating. It's frustrating, right? Let me just put this out into the world. Yesterday, Newcastle had a £45 million bid rejected by Nottingham Forest for Anthony Elanga. Yes, you heard that right. And why that's relevant to us, we have a 20% buy sell-on clause. So if he goes for 45 million, we would get 9 million. Amazing. But we have Marcus Rashford, who once was touted potential Ballon d'Or winner, this, that, and the other. Like, that was a year and a half ago? People were saying that, oh, he's as good as Mbappe. I wasn't personally saying that, but there was people in the fan base who were comparing him to Mbappe when he got 20 goals in one season. Okay? And now, we literally can't sell him for a penny. No one wants him. Barcelona are willing to take him, but want him on loan. I just don't get it. And I know that everyone in the club, the fans, want him gone. And I agree, I want him gone as well. But I don't know. I'm just frustrated, realistically. That's the feeling. It's a feeling of frustration. It's a feeling of desperation that Anthony Elanga, who's had one good season at Nottingham Forest, is potentially going for 45 to 50 million pounds. Well, more than 45. They rejected a 45 million pound bid yesterday, right? And now we're here on this 25th of July and we're still talking about loaning out Marcus Rashford. That's the reality here. A loan deal for Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. And it's being widely reported as well. You know, it's in The Guardian, it's TalkSport, it's Sky Sports. Who else is reporting it? Literally everybody's reporting it. Manchester Evening News are reporting it. That Barcelona are keen for a loan move for Marcus Rashford. I mean, I'm sure they are. Unless they're going to pay all of his wages and they're going to give us a loan fee, I would tell them to jog on. Realistically. You know, that has to be the goal. All of the wages covered and a loan fee. Otherwise, yeah, I would literally be telling them to jog on. But let's do a poll. So it's just frustrating me. It really is. Would you loan out Rashford? So we're going to do a poll. Would you loan out Rashford? Yes or no? I mean, the alternative is that we keep him. I mean, at the moment, we don't have a striker. So it seems pretty counterproductive for us to loan out our only striker. Højlund, I don't know. Maybe Højlund turns good, but at the moment, it's not looking particularly positive for Højlund, is it? It's just annoying. There's no other word to describe it. It's annoying. It's frustrating. But yeah, this is coming up from Ben Jacobs, The Guardian, Manchester Evening News, TalkSport, Sky Sports, all saying that apparently Barcelona are in talks for a loan move. Obviously, Marcus Rashford is currently out in Spain. Did an interview recently with a Barcelona journalist saying that he wants to play with Lamau. So he's doing everything he can to put himself in the shop window, right? He's doing everything possible to to get Barcelona's attention. Al says, do you think that Barcelona would cover all of his wages? I mean, based off recent history, I would say no. But yeah, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I mean, Barcelona are in a mess financially, aren't they? And Rashford's on about 250 grand a week. He's on 16.5 million a season. Do we think that they'll pay him his full 15.6 million a year? I'm not sure. He's on 250 plus bonuses per week. There must be someone out there who wants to buy him. But the problem we have is, right, Marcus Rashford wants to go to Barcelona. That's the only club he wants to join. So we're in a position where it doesn't really give us much bargaining power because Rashford's like, I only want to join Barcelona, right? And any other club he's probably going to reject. So again, he's kind of backed us into a corner because we're sat here now like, well, the only option we have is to sell him to Barcelona or to loan him to Barcelona because he's going to reject any other option. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those situations that's just really, really frustrating. I think, anyway. What do we do? Where do we loan him? What do we sell him? Do we loan him? Do we release him from his contract? Like, people are saying cancel his contract. The problem with that, Steve, is we'd have to pay him off all of his money. So he's got 3 years left on his deal, right? And he earns 15.6 million a year. So to pay him off, we'd have to give him 45 million pounds to make him leave. And we can't even afford to pay the working class people who have been working at this club for 20 years. So how are we going to afford, they're probably on like 20, 30,000 pounds a year, these people, and we're firing them because we don't have any money. How are we going to afford to pay Marcus Rashford nearly 50 million to leave the club? I get what you're saying. And I agree, like it would be great to just be done with him, but I don't think releasing him from his contract's realistic Because even if Barcelona said, we don't want to pay a fee, but we'll take him as a free agent, Marcus Rashford's still going to turn around and say, well, I want my contract paid off, which is stupid. Because he's obviously going to earn that money at Barcelona anyway. But yeah, we'll see how this one progresses. But at the moment, it does look... It does look like Marcus Rashford to Barcelona is picking up a bit of heat again, but it looks like it's going to be a loan. If it was a loan with an obligation to buy, fine, no problem. But a straight loan, pointless. Anyway, let's move on from there. Let's talk about something positive, because this is just depressing, realistically, isn't it? Let's talk a little bit about midfielder and striker. So this is coming out from The Athletic this morning. So this is coming out from, I think it was from Laurie Whitwell, saying that apparently Manchester United are going to target a midfielder and a striker. That's the priority for the rest of the window. And are confident that they're going to get a midfielder and a striker. So that's really, really positive. Obviously, Bryan Mbeumo is kind of separate to this. This is almost assuming that Bryan Mbeumo is kind of... I mean, it's not done, obviously, but we're getting along the way with Bryan Mbeumo, right? We're going in the right direction. So that's really, really positive that Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United probably will happen, realistically. Let's be real here, So that's positive. But yeah, in relation to a midfielder and a striker, Manchester United are obviously still looking at Gyökeres. So Gyökeres to Manchester United. Again, we're waiting. It depends if Arsenal decide to sign him or not. And we still don't really know what's going to happen with that, realistically. Arsenal are looking at Sesko. Will they get Sesko? Will they get Gyökeres? Who knows? So Manchester United, again, are just sat on their hands. Pre-season starts in, 10 days? Is it the 7th of July? 7th of July pre-season starts, guys. And we don't have a striker. We need that striker. It's arguably the most important position we need filling. We need to get that done. And it needs to be done now. Because we can't go into next season without a striker, with Højlund leading the line. There's some people in the fan base saying, oh, maybe Xerxes can do it. I think that's a huge risk. I like Xerxes. I think he offers us something very different to what some of the other players offer us. But I still think it's a huge risk to be going into next season with Xerxes as your main striker. So, yeah, I don't know. How are we feeling about this? Like, who should we go for as the striker? Do we go and look at somebody else? Is Osimhen still an option? I think the problem we have with Osimhen is, as much as I like Osimhen, I think his wages are too much of a stretch for Manchester United, unfortunately. So I can't see Osimhen happening as much as I would like it to. Yeah, I mean, it's all just a bit all over the place at the moment, it feels like. We need to get rid of players. We need to sell in order to buy. We need to loan out players. Al says, what about Jonathan David? I literally do not know what's going on with Jonathan David. Let's have a look. I've heard nothing about him. All right. He's in Canada. He's playing for the Canadian national team at the moment, isn't he? Right, okay. Apparently he's in talks with Juventus. That's what's being reported this morning. Yeah, so apparently he's in talks with Juventus. This has been widely reported. I think the reason why Man United aren't going for Jonathan David is because he's a free agent. A lot of the time people think like, oh, he's a free agent, it'd be stupid not to get the deal done. It's not going to cost you any money. But a lot of the time, actually, free agents end up costing you more money because of the signing on fees, because of agent fees. They ask for bigger wages. So that's maybe why they're a little bit hesitant about it, potentially. But I mean, I would take Jonathan David. He wouldn't be my first choice, but I would take him. I would rather him than Hugo Ekitike, to be fair. My priorities, as I've always said, would be Gyökeres or Osimhen as number one. Then I'd go Jonathan David. Then I'd go Hugo Ekitike. And then if we're going even further down the list, I mean, you'd be looking at people like Sorloth from Atletico Madrid or someone like that. But again, that's like bottom of my list. So, yeah. But anyway, let's move on from there. We have a super chat coming in from Ray. Thank you for the super chat, Ray. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Ray says, we need others because Rasmus and Xerxes combined 7 goals in the Premier League is not very prolific. 100%, mate. 100%. Like I said, I do think that Xerxes does offer us something very different to what we have. and I think he is a useful player to have around. So I'm not completely, anti-Xerxes. I like Xerxes. Højlund, I mean, his time at Manchester United is done, realistically. I would have loved for Xerxes to work out. For Højlund to work out, but realistically, it's just not worked out, is it? Like, Højlund at Manchester United has been a disaster, I would say. And let's be fair here. Not all of that is on Højlund. I've said to you guys many times before that Manchester United have realistically been heavily responsible for Højlund's failures. You bring in a striker at the age of 20 who scored 8 goals in professional football. Before that, he was playing in a league that's not even considered like a proper league, right? And then you don't bring in anybody for him to learn off, Like, there should have been, a renowned striker with him. So, someone like not Højlund, I was about to say someone like a Højlund, someone like a Cavani, a Rooney, someone like that, someone to learn off. That's how it should have been done. But as always, Manchester United didn't do that. As always, Manchester United were stupid enough to just say, oh, it'll be all right, let's just go with it. Let's bring him in for 70 million. He scored 8 goals in professional football, and let's make him our main striker. And we've seen how it's turned out. It's been a disaster. It's been an absolute disaster. I can see someone in the chat saying, what about Ollie Watkins? I mean, let's do a poll on it. It's a good one. The results of the first poll, 50% of people would say, wow, 50-50 on loaning out Rashford. Let's do a poll on Ollie Watkins. Why not? Would you take Ollie Watkins at United? The person saying that the Monaco story is old, there's literally a story from an hour ago saying about Onana to Monaco. So I don't know what you're reading. So the story here, do we want to talk about Onana? It says Monaco's pursuit of Andre Onana is facing a minor setback due to his salary demands and bonuses being currently within their reach. Conversations still continue as Monaco try to reach an agreement with Onana on wages. There you go. That's the update on Onana. The title says Onana to Monaco ? I hope that explains it for you, Sebastian. I hope you're having a good morning. So yeah, Onana to Monaco. I mean, like I just said there's clearly interest. There's clearly talks ongoing. But at the moment, it seems like his wage demands are too high, which doesn't surprise me. He's on, I think, 120 a week at Manchester United, which is quite a lot for a goalkeeper. Remember, goalkeepers don't usually earn as much as outfield players. He's on 120 a week, plus a guarantee of... 120 a week guaranteed, plus a potential 80,000 in bonuses. So he could earn as much as 200 grand a week at Manchester United. Whereas if you look at Monaco's wage bill, their current highest earning player is on 75,000 euros, which is what, £60,000 a week. So he's currently earning double what any player at Monaco's earning, and that doesn't even include his bonuses as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? No wonder they're not up for it. And he's not willing to take a pay cut. Again, the same situation we find ourselves in every single year, where we have a player, we want him to go, but we can never find anybody who's willing to pay the wages. And again, we've put ourselves in this hole. We've put ourselves in this hole. So, yeah, frustrating. Tom says, would you swap Rashford for Watkins? Probably not, to be honest, mate. And the reason for that is quite simple, because we need to sell Rashford because he's a youth player to help our PSR situation. Rashford presents a 100% profit on the books. So, yeah, I wouldn't personally do a swap deal involving Rashford and Ollie Watkins. So, yeah, that's my take on that. But I get people want Rashford out of the club and we need a striker. So it kind of does make sense. But at the same time, we realistically need to sell Rashford. We need to get that money. We need to cash in on him. Right, let's see what else people are saying in the chat this morning. Quite a few people saying that we can't keep Rashford. I agree with you, mate, but if we can't get rid of him, then legally we have to keep him, you know? I understand that everyone wants Rashford to leave Manchester United, and I'm sure he knows that everyone wants Marcus Rashford out of Manchester United, you know? He knows that. But if we can't sell him or loan him, then we'll be stuck with him. It's as simple as that. Right, let's talk a little bit about Jadon Sancho. So, apparently Fenerbahce are relatively close to signing Jadon Sancho. Apparently they're prepared to pay his salary demands. And apparently Manchester United are asking for 25 million. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Fenerbahce. Who's currently at Fenerbahce? Let's have a look. I mean, yeah, Fenerbahce got some decent players, haven't they? Amrabat obviously went back there. They've got Skriniar, they've got Fred. Lots of ex-Man United players. Tadic is there, Dzeko's there. And I'm looking at their wages here. They do pay some players around 150 grand a week. So, I mean, it probably would work, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It says that apparently he's accepted the wage offered. Obviously, Jose Mourinho is the manager there, isn't he? I mean, let's just hope it gets done, to be honest. Let's hope it gets done. Al says, I heard that they're only willing to pay around 15 million. I can tell you how much is enough, mate. Give me one sec. Let me work it out. Because obviously the most important thing is the PSR situation. So he has got 1 year left on his contract. We paid 85 million. I'm just going to work out how much we have left in relation to PSR. When did we sign him? 2021. Wow. So we do 85 divided by 5. He's got 1 year left. So his book value at the moment is 17 million euros. Okay, so anything more than 17 million euros, anything more than 17 million euros would go down as a profit on our books. 17 million euros is 14.5 million pounds. So, I mean, 15 million pounds is a joke, realistically, but it would still present a profit on our books. I think if we could get somewhere between 15 and 25, I would take it. You know, if we got 20 for him, I would take it. If we could get even 18, I would take it. You know, if we could get 17, I would take it. Anything more than 15 million, it goes down as a profit on our books. Obviously, overall, it won't be a profit because we paid 85 million euros for him. But, oh yeah, to be fair, Tactical Devil says, take into account, we did also make money off the loans. Obviously, Chelsea gave us 5 million to send him back, didn't they? So, yeah, we just need to get rid of him. It's as simple as that. Jadon Sancho needs to leave Manchester United. There isn't really any other... there isn't any other way of sugarcoating it. He needs to go. So, yeah. Everyone who's just joined the video, if you could do me a little favour, I'd really, really appreciate it. Can you please drop a like on the video? We've got over 700 people watching live right now, right? But we've only got 100 likes. So, please help me out. Give the video a like. And if you are watching for the first time today, please do subscribe to the channel. I've just put a link in the chat to do that. We're very, very close to 43,000. So please go and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it, guys. I'm live every single day, bringing you all of the latest Manchester United news and talk. But yeah, so just to summarise that bit of the show, Fenerbahce want to sign Jadon Sancho. Apparently he has agreed to their wage, which is 15 million. Sorry, I think it was 8.5 million pounds a season, which works out around 160 grand a week. I think, let me check what he's on now at Manchester United. I don't know whether the wage system is different in Turkey. Does anybody know? Like, his tax is different? I don't know the answer to this, so I'm just asking. If anybody knows, do let me know in the comments if the tax system works differently in Turkey. I think he's on about 200 a week after. Yeah, I think he's on about 200 a week in Manchester United. But I'm not sure whether in Turkey he would, maybe 160 grand a week works out relatively the same with taxes. I don't know. Turkey tax is 20%. There you go. England is 40%. So in England, he would get about 150 after tax. In Turkey, he would get 130. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same. Make a poll, keep one, Sancho, Rashford, or Garnacho. I mean, it's going to be... pick the person that is quite a good one, but it's also kind of silly at the same time. 3 players that everyone wants to leave. Which one would you want to leave more than the other? I quite like the idea, but it is a bit silly at the same time. Al says, let's do a poll, actually. A better poll is on the fee for Sancho. Let's do that. So we'll do, should United... We're going to do this as the poll. Should United accept 15 million offer for Sancho from Fenerbahce? There you go. There's the question. Should Manchester United accept the £15 million offer for Jadon Sancho from Fenerbahce? In relation to book value, it would mean that we only make about 500,000 euros, roughly. Something around there. Any news on Anthony? I think Anthony to Real Betis does seem to be picking up a bit of steam, which is good. But yeah, nothing's really progressed as of yet. I think Anthony will leave though. Like there is going to be someone out there who's willing to buy Anthony. He had a really good time at Real Betis. So yeah, that one definitely will happen. It's just again a case of waiting. Remember, all the players are on holiday at the moment. They come back a week on Monday, so everything's really going to heat up then. At the moment, it's like holiday time. So it's a little bit quieter. But yeah, from next week onwards, I think it will really start to pick up momentum. Wow, 77% of people watching the video say they sell Sancho for 15 million. I mean, that just shows up how much the fan base want him out. We paid 85 million euros for him and we're now willing to sell him for 15 million. Crazy. To be fair, I probably would as well. I honestly don't want to ever have to talk about Jadon Sancho ever again. Realistically, I want him gone. So yeah, I probably would take it as well. Al says, what do you think's going on with Casemiro? I mean, there are some links suggesting that Casemiro might go to Saudi. I personally think Casemiro will stay. I think he'll run down his contract. He's got 1 year left. And then I think this time next year, he'll be a free agent. He can probably then go to Saudi, accept a big money offer. Yeah, I mean, there's some people saying that he's close to joining Saudi. I don't think so, realistically. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people saying that he's going to go there, but I mean, it's all like tabloid newspapers. Nobody reputable has said that Casemiro is going to go to Saudi. Not a single person. So yeah, I think the likelihood is probably not, realistically. But we'll see. You never know. Yeah, exactly. Andy says Casemiro has repeatedly said he's not going anywhere. Yeah. I mean, maybe even Casemiro goes to America, when his contract expires. So, yeah, we'll see. But I reckon the likelihood of him going is quite small. He seems happy in Manchester. He had a pretty good season last year, realistically, let's be fair. I mean, obviously we were awful overall, but Casemiro wasn't too bad. So I don't think he will go anywhere, realistically. MB says 15 million is a fair price if you take into context the difference in wages and time left in his contract. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. I don't disagree. I think, if we can get 15 million for Sancho, so be it. We just need to be done with it, don't we? We need to move on. We need to get out of this mess. We need to not ever have to speak about him again. What else have we got? We spoke about Monaco. We spoke about Sancho. I think that is everything we've got for today's show, guys. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has joined me on the video today. I will be back live tomorrow morning as normal. If anything breaks during the day, as always, I will go live. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And be sure to drop the video a like on your way out. I'll speak to you all later, guys. Have a great day. Bye for now.